Good morning. This is your stats sensei, Mr. Spensei, and this warm up is just to help us remember how to enter data because we'll be using the data in our lesson today. So a two-lane road with a posted speed limit of 55 miles per hour is located just outside a subdivision. The residents of the neighborhood are concerned that the speed of cars on the road is excessive and want the police to step up patrols. To gather evidence, the homeowners desire to estimate the mean population speed of the cars on the road. It is known that the standard deviation equals 8 miles per hour. Notice we have the standard deviation of the population, and the distribution of the speeds is approximately normal. All right, because we have this and we have this, we can work with a normal. The residents decide to take a random sample and measure the speed of 12 cars on the highway during non-peak times. During the non-peak times, more than 300 cars passed by this subdivision. These were the speeds. The residents wish to construct a 90% confidence interval about the mean. Just trying to remind you how to actually find the sample mean and how to enter the data. This is the purpose of our warm-up. So we're going to go to stat, arrow O, and we want to edit. And we want to enter that data. So we should have enter our data, 57.4, enter, 56.1, enter, and we have all of our data entered. All right, so I've done that. And now I want to get the sample mean. Well, I can run the test, but right now I just want to remind people how to get that by going to stat calc. So if I press stat, arrow over to calc, one var stats is highlighted, press enter. My data was stored in list 1, so second followed by the number 1. The frequency, we don't have one, so we can leave it blank. And we find out that our X bar or our sample mean is 59.6166. The other thing, in order to help us out with today's notes and speed things along, is I want to calculate the z-scores associated with the middle 90% of the data. Well, if we're talking about the middle 90%, our picture is going to look like this, where this is 0.90, and this is my lower, and this is my upper. Now, we know we'll go to the inverse norm function on our calculator. And we're going to go 0.90, and the first thing it's going to ask us for after the probability or after the area is our mean and our standard deviation. Since we're working with z-scores, and all z-scores have a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. All right, and we're going to select center for this. So second vars, inverse norm, area 0.90, mean is 0 because because we're working with a z-score. We want to be centered. And we find out that it's negative 1.6448 and 1.6448. So negative 1.6448 and positive 1.6448. And we just found our lower and upper z-score, and they are centered on 0. That's why it's symmetric, centered on 0. And that's why our z-scores are just opposites of each other. Appreciate you watching. Hope to see you on the next one.